I got 10 deep sleepers for you and a couple bonus ones at the end. Bonus. These are players that are probably not on your radar very much. Let's be real, let's be honest though. Are there ever any real deep sleepers? There's so much fantasy football content out there that everybody pretty much knows who everybody is, but these are my favorites. To set a parameter of what I consider a deep sleeper, anybody with an ADP 140 or lower. So without further ado, Jeffrey, let's get it started. Bring up my first sleeper.
Yes, sir. Khalil Shakir.
Khalil Shakir is a wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. With Stephon Diggs out, there are a bunch of targets to go around. I don't think that Khalil Shakir will fully take over that role. I think they'll spread it out. But when you have a receiving core that is a little up in the air with the hierarchy, those are good late round picks. Is it Khalil Shakir? Is it rookie Keon Coleman? Or is it Curtis Samuel? Honestly, I really like Curtis Samuel. Prior to yesterday's news, he would have been the one in this video. But I'm a little concerned with the news that recently came out. Jeffrey, let's dig into that.
Yes, sir. Curtis Samuel dealing with turf toe week to week, per McDermott.
You hate to see it, turf toe. Now, he's obviously going to come back, but this is an important time in the offense. Josh Allen is going to be finding who he wants to throw the ball to. And though I think other people are going to be involved more as well, I think Khalil is a solid flyer. He has a good quarterback. I'm tracking him as an A+ in catch percentage, and he dominated zone coverage last year with an A. I won't be surprised if he gets involved. Jeffrey, who's next?
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard has an ADP of 148.7. 2 weeks ago, head coach of the Carolina Panthers, Dave Canales, said that there's a chance Jonathan Brooks starts the year on the pup. What? Now, I'm not saying that Jonathan Brooks has no fantasy value. I think people that are drafting him are drafting him for later on in the year when he gets his legs underneath him. Coming off of an ACL still makes me personally kind of nervous. But Chuba Hubbard is a productive running back. And Miles Sanders didn't look great last year, meaning I think Chuba Hubbard gets a decent amount of work to start the year. And for anybody out there that's drafting 0 RB and y'all need a late round running back that should get work at the beginning of the year, I think Chuba Hubbard might be your guy. Next up, Joshua Palmer. His ADP is picked 150. The Chargers basically got rid of all their wide receivers. Keenan Allen's go. Mike Williams is out of there. Yes, they drafted Ladd McConkey. He was banged up, but I believe he's going to be fine. But they're not just going to throw it to him. I think Joshua Palmer has a solid chance to be a decent wide receiver too, and he may have spike weeks of being their wide receiver 1. I'll also mention this guy. I don't like him, but he was a first round pick last year.
Quentin Johnston.
I'm just not hearing great things about him, but when you are a first round draft pick, I do think that you get opportunities. I'm really not excited about it. This one's more of a flyer, but I think that he gets on the field. Whether or not he does anything with it, I don't know, because last year, injuries left and right. My man couldn't do anything. Moving on to the next one.
Rico Dowdle.
Rico Dowdle is going at pick 163. That's not bad for a guy that's going to be fighting for the number 1 spot in Dallas. Dallas is going to be a high-flying offense, and they're going to score touchdowns. Rico Dowdle could be a benefactor of that. I personally still like Zeke a lot, but in fantasy football, you have to leave a chance for you being wrong. Also, Zeke's getting a little older. What if Zeke gets banged up? Now you have the number 1 running back on a high-flying offense. Where's the chance? Plus, he made a nasty one-handed touchdown catch the other day in practice. I see you. I see you. Jeffrey, who's next?
Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis is going pick 164 in ADP. Shout out to my UCF Knights. Gabe Davis did attend my alma mater back in the day. But back to fantasy football. Just to be clear, I personally still love Brian Thomas Jr. And I think that Christian Kirk is a solid wide receiver too. But have y'all seen how much this man's getting paid? Jeffrey, let's check it out.
Yes, sir. Gabriel Davis signed a 3-year, $39 million contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars, including $11 million signing bonus, $24 million guaranteed.
Thank you, Jeffrey. That's a lot of money to pay a guy you're not going to use at all. So I think they're going to use him. Is he going to be the lead dog? No, but he is a downfield threat that can give you some spiked weeks. I call that a solid flyer. Jeffrey, who's next?
Jalen Polk.
Jalen Polk is going at pick 170. He was drafted in the top of the 2nd round. And I think there's a world where he's the wide receiver 1 for the New England Patriots. Now, I'm not the biggest New England Patriots fan. I don't like their quarterback situation, whether it's Jacoby Brissett or Drake May. But a wide receiver 1 is a wide receiver 1, and you're getting him at pick 170. I think it's worth a shot. Honestly, he's one of my favorite late round picks. Who's next?
Dontavian Wicks.
Jeffrey, where's the cool animation? Oh, Jeffrey, make sure you update the animation for Wicks. Gotta be able to talk about my sleepers.
Yes, sir.
My man. Or AI. When you're this late in the draft, you want to focus on areas where there isn't a defined guy. There isn't a defined guy for the Green Bay Packers. This is the latest shot you can take. Wicks is a solid wide receiver who absolutely torched zone defense. I'm tracking him as an A against zone last year. That's pretty good for a rookie. Might be worth a shot. Next up,
Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky Pearsall is most known for that one-handed catch he made while he was at the University of Florida. But why I bring him up is, though he's banged up right now, Brandon Ayuk's future is still up in the air. One day he's going to stay, one day he's going to leave. If he leaves, I think that Ricky Pearsall could be a solid value. They will still need a wide receiver too. And that San Francisco 49ers offense is sick. Rookie could be the benefactor of that. But this one's really up in the air because it's dependent on Brandon Ayuk. He's going at pick 177, so it's really not a risk. Jeffrey, who's next?
Jermaine Burton.
Jermaine Burton, rookie wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals. Tyler Boyd is gone, and Jermaine Burton's going to fill that role. Love this pick in Dynasty, but this is redraft. So will he be involved? I think so. Tyler Boyd had his weeks where he was a deep touchdown threat, and I think that that's kind of what Jermaine Burton's going to be. It's what he was at Alabama. And with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins holding out earlier in training camp, Joe Burrow got to be more familiar with Burton. I think that Jamar Chase is going to play this year, obviously, but if he does end up holding out for longer than expected, Jermaine Burton's going to increase volume dramatically. What if T. Higgins gets traded halfway through the year? Jermaine Burton's going to be the benefactor of that. What if Jamar Chase or T. Higgins gets banged up? Burton's going to be that dude that they go to. Jermaine Burton is one of my favorite late round flyers, just to see what happens. Now, these are players that you're going to be able to draft and drop at the beginning of the year. So it's not like you're taking a big risk picking them up. Bonus pick. Jeffrey, who's next?
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill is going at pick 189. This pick is specifically for leagues that allow you to put him in the tight end position. This man is the definition of a Swiss Army knife. He plays quarterback sometimes, tight end, and running back. In week 2 of the preseason, he had 5 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown. Now, he's going to be boom or bust, but to be honest with you, what tight end that you're getting in this range isn't boom or bust? This guy at least has some crazy upside from week to week. I like me some Taysom Hill. Plus, do you know how much they're paying him? Jeffrey, bring up that contract.
Yes, sir. Taysom Hill signed a 4-year, $40 million contract with the New Orleans Saints, including $21.5 million guaranteed.
Thanks, Jeffrey. That's a lot of money. If you look to the right here, he's making $9 million this year and making almost $18 million in 2025. You do not pay a player that much money not to use him. He may not be their quarterback, but he's basically their Swiss Army knife. They're going to use Taysom Hill if you can play him at tight end. Jeffrey, who's next?
Geno Smith.
I know. Geno Smith is not an elite quarterback, which is why he's being undrafted at pick 204. But if worst case scenario in your league, a bunch of people took 2 quarterbacks and you're scrounging away at the end of the draft and you don't know who to pick, I think Geno Smith could be a solid stopgap quarterback. He's got a great receiving core. Read out his receivers real quick, Jeffrey.
DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith-Njigba.
That's a good receiving core. They have a new offensive coordinator that came from Washington who was just in a national championship, who did a great job coaching in college. I think this offense switches up. I think they throw it a little more. And I think Geno Smith could be solid for you, assuming you need a deep sleeper. And I mean deep sleeper. He could be all right. Now, with all of these players, I picked players that are picks 140 and later for a reason. The reason you're drafting these guys are because they're late rounders. They're at the end of your draft. At the end of your draft, you want to shoot for players that have upside. Maybe they have a couple good weeks and you keep them or you flip them or you trade them to get a more secured asset. And the best part about it is you're getting them so late. I promise you, week 1, there will be players on the waiver wire that you want. So when you draft these guys, if they hit, awesome. If they don't, drop them. Pick up one of the guys in week 1. You have to stay flexible in fantasy football. You can't just draft your roster and just think you're good because Yahoo said that you had the best draft. Yahoo is terrible at that, by the way. They're absolutely horrible. Their rankings are trash all the way around. The platform is pretty solid. I like that they give you grades and all that good stuff, but their grades are mid. Their ADP is wild, but that's why we on Sleeper. It really helps to practice your draft before the draft comes. Trust me, it makes a world of difference. If you know your draft spot, you should be drafting from that draft spot on that platform. Different platforms have different ADPs. Fair warning. So if you're new to fantasy football and you want some advice, you should take this fantasy football training course I got here. It's got a couple videos that are going to help you out. The players are from last year, but the advice stays the same. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you want advice on mock drafts, boom. Step by step, pick by pick, and explain why I'm making each decision that I'm making. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll answer them on the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and the notification bell down below. And football season is right around the corner. I have a lot of videos for you. Get ready to draft. Jeff, you got anything for the people?
As we draw the curtains on today's episode, I bid you a splendid farewell, Bay Nation. Until next time, may your drafts be strong and your fantasy decisions wiser. Cheerio.
Cheerio, Jeffrey. Good luck in your drafts. Peace.